that changed our history forever.
Here to react this Christmas Day, Fox News religion contributor, Father Jonathan Morris.
Good morning.
Father Morris.
Good morning. Merry Christmas to all of you.
Let's talk about the message that the Pope is delivering right now as we speak. Obviously, it can't all be about presents and fun. There is a serious element to what the Pope is discussing. Why don't you break down as simply as possible what his message is?
Well, he did say it's a very simple story that changed the world forever, and we know what that simple story is. It's a simple story, but it's also a profound story, and that is that all of us, through our own free will, have chosen to use our freedom for evil. Sin, we call it. And that God has offered us another option, and that is to say yes to his love and to his mercy. And how did he choose to bring us that mercy and forgiveness? In the form of a little baby, which is his only begotten son. And that all of us who would receive him would have a chance for eternal life. That's the story. What's amazing is that it's so simple. It's there, a little baby in a manger, all alone. And I think that's why he called it simple, and that's why it's life-changing.
You know, when it comes to Christmas, you know, the kids get so excited about the gifts and the presents, and how do you remind them about that true story?
What my parents always did, I'm the third of 7, and we would always stand up on top of the steps and run down in the morning. And I'll never forget, my dad did something very, very simple, and that is before we were allowed to open the gifts, he would make us go and kneel down before the creche. And it seemed like it was, his prayer was probably half an hour. It was probably really about 10 seconds or 30 seconds. But that made a big difference, Molly, that's exactly, he was reminding us that's what counts.
Father Morris, you know, I went to St. Patrick's 5:30 Mass yesterday. As a new Catholic, it was very special for me to go. And I went early and I got a seat. And I actually shot a little bit of video. Monsignor Ritchie, you see here, he's marching through before the Mass began. He got the baby Jesus out of the nativity scene and invited all of the children in the church. And I'm a little obstructed there, but you can see children, some so small with their parents, parading. And he marched the entire circumference of St. Patrick's, and then he brought it back and said the message was, it's about children. And Christmas morning, look at the hope of not just Jesus being born, but your own children.
You know, God could have come down to us in the form of a warrior angel and just scared the heck out of us and make us say, come on, get with it, guys. But he didn't, and he came in this form, and I think that's what's so amazing. We look around the world today, and there's a lot of problems. I was just in the taxi on the way here this morning. There was a guy from Afghanistan who left Afghanistan many years ago, but he said, my country has experienced war my entire life. But we think about what's going on in North Korea. We think about what's going on in so many parts of this world, that people are suffering deeply, deeply. And imagine God going, these are my kids. Why can't they just love each other? But we don't. Sometimes we do, but generally we don't as a world. And that is God's patience and love to say, I could come as a warrior angel, but I'm going to come as a baby. Maybe you'll get it. Eventually, you'll get it. And that's my hope and prayer. I think it is all of ours.
It's the nature of the human condition, and that, quite frankly, is why we have religion, and we believe in a higher power. And today, obviously, an important day for Christians around the world. It is. Welcome to the team, by the way, the Catholic team, by the way, Greg.
Thank you, thank you.
Glad to have you.
And I'm excited we have a new 2-year-old. And that's exactly the message you're delivering, which is that love that you feel parents do for their baby is the Christmas message.
And those 2-year-olds can be pretty terrible at times, too. Right? We like the little babies more.
Right. We love her to death.
Thank you,
fabulous.
Well, you know, a lot of us are feeling a little bit stressed out from all the year-end holiday activities, shopping, travel. You got your family all around you. Maybe that takes a bit of a toll. Well, de-stressing is always a good idea, so we've got some tips on how to cut stress for the new year. Dr. Devi is a clinical associate professor at New York University School of Medicine. It's good to have you here on Christmas Day.
Good to see you. Merry Christmas.
You know, it's funny because this survey out of the UK said that 84% of respondents said that being with their family took away their stress. I beg to differ on that one. I think that survey was flawed. But let's talk about this, because obviously stress can hurt the body. In particular, we're learning more about how women's hearts are affected by continual stress.
Sure. So actually, women may be more susceptible to stress in terms of the of blood flow to the heart. So the way to think about it is the heart pumps blood, oxygen, and nutrients to the rest of the body, but it also needs blood flow. It needs those things. So typically, traditionally, you think about stress tests, in the